InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. I was running a little slow today. I believe there's no such thing as running late. I was just running a little slow, or maybe I was moving a little slow, whatever that looks like. But welcome to the Daily Snippet. It's September 14th, 2021. I am Tonya D, holistic Sha'Medium and also a subtle energy surgeon. It's a magical day today. Actually, I believe most days are magical. As we journey in and through the Virgo season, the end phases, we're kind of at this crossroads, if you will. We're kind of releasing this old story, creating a new spiritual memo, kind of like a spiritual biography in a sense, with all this cosmic clutter that actually began floating away in the season of Pisces, the karmic voice, that old spiritual path that you might have felt or held kind of deep in your bones, in your ancestral realms, in your life. That's kind of where it sits. The universe knows, right? And all this cosmic chaos, this league of cosmic chaos, the old shift, it's kind of being stripped away while the peace is flowing in. It's like flowing into those streams. The elemental energy of today, we have this Yin Wood Ox day. There's this yin energy. It's really the tide. Definitely, we need to bring in the yang elements. Yin is like our constitution. It's our beingness on the inside. It's the yin. The yang is the action. So, we do have water hidden in the stems. They still have energy, but it's really not enough to feed or protect the day. So the metal on the ear and the rooster on the branch, along with the ox, earth, our day really needs some love, I would say. So to nurture the day, really bring in peace, bring in the kindness. You could also bring in the joy. But yes, our day definitely needs water, not just for support, but water will also take energy from both the earth element and metal. So too much earth actually makes the body feel more sluggish, toxic. Moving is hard to do, moving around. And too much metal is abrasive. It's scratchy. It's scratchy. I always think of it as scratchy, metal scratching on a chalkboard or something. So just for the day to get in its flow, the water. And our day can feed the fire there right next to it. Wood feeds fire. So the branch, the ox branch doesn't really support the day either. It actually depletes it. It takes nourishment from the roots, really. So too much earth on a plant can even suffocate it in a way. So it's hard to burst through the soil. The soil is pretty dry. It's not even damp, right? It's hard soil. So full of minerals. It feels like a rocky soil now that I'm like tuning in, looking. So I would say definitely bring in the element of water and also the element of wood. It's a different feeling to today than yesterday, totally. Being that we are removing all the spiritual lessons, the old karmic debris, the wounds, either from this timeline or another timeline. The past, it's like in that baggage is floating away, upcycling our future, the innovation of a new future. So it's this fluidity that's in motion, and it can assist in like this transformation in the cosmic atmosphere. So we have this atmospheric action in what we kind of attract. So this is the moment when we get our galactic memo. The cause is going to be elevated. So you really want to direct your focus, your beacon, your inner barometer to the being that you really want to be in your galactic future. And I think it was Matthew McConaughey. I think he said something about he always wanted to be him in 10 years from now, his future self, like his goals or something. I really can't remember exactly, but that's kind of the feeling of today, that cycle that we're upping. When you feel, or what you feel is kind of going to kind of go up the escalator, it'll kind of vibrate. And when you feel into your future of what life is, of what life be, the future beingness, it's called the Merlin effect, actually. But the first cusp of that wave of emotions, it needs to be connected and actually felt first, like feeling your feelings, which a lot of the times we don't sit around and feel our feelings. We feel feelings outside of us first. So I'm always having that conversation, is this me or is this them? And I have to wait and listen to my guardian of my galaxy kind of pipes in. But if you felt a little bedazzled this morning, maybe you were slow like myself, maybe panicky, anxiety, little topsy-turvy, off balance, off kilter, on the inside of your beingness, feeling maybe like a electrical boost, a shimmer. This energy comes off kind of in any second that something could shift or change like a snap, and you really have no idea what it could be or might be. You kind of want to take a moment and just meditate with your feelings, take a pause, take a breath, a walk, a breath of air out in nature. I actually went skinny dipping twice yesterday. Thank God it's my own pool, right? Can I just say how awesome that was? I did it first thing in the morning, and then late at night when I got home. It was just magical. The stars and the gaze. Oh, delightful. But enough about that. My Musing Moon meditation, I'm also getting that ready to bundle that up as my gift for you. I'm super excited about that. So once you take the time to tune into your inner feelers, that outer chaos of the world outside instead of the chaos inside is kind of what you feel. It's like the Force, the Jedi Knight, the Yoda, the Luke Skywalker in training kind of sensation. But once you have clear sight or clarity on your feelings, how you're vibrating on your own unique being on the inside, you then own the chessboard. You get to take in your worldly surroundings emotionally and kind of feel into those frequencies and those vibrations. I think it's hilarious. I'm down here moving my hands and you can't see me. And I've adjusted this camera. I'm getting better. But so what happens is the frequency and the feelings, once you start feeling your own feelings and then the feelings outside of you, kind of feels refreshing in a way, but some parts of life are still kind of attractive to us, and others we're repelling them, we're bumping them off. So you want to keep, obviously, which ones are positive, which ones are negative, which is the cosmic loop that we get in, and just allow them to be really your guiding light, your beacon, to utilize those emotional threads to make choices. Take the thread towards the feelings that are positive, that are uplifting, that are vibrating in a time space that you want to be in. So it's a dream to live in the highest of the highest of the highest frequencies and vibrations, the higher self, the place of the cosmic neutrality zone, the zero zone, the void. The feelings start really to merge with the energy that you're actually attracted to on the inside. So you can this takes you actually to this escalator, a new position in your chessboard, an emotional kind of merger that transforms the being that you be, the magic that resides within you. It's the yin and the yang, the complementaries. So doing something you are attracted to from the inside and also doing it on the outside kind of transforms those feelings. So in doing that, our self-esteem becomes elevated, our self-confidence becomes elevated, our self-love gets escalated, so to this higher level. And this happens because it's the cause you followed the attraction. So that's the effect. And anything you're emotionally attracted to today, kind of follow those thread lines and feel how you might be transformed. Some of them might be unexpected, so just be prepared. It could be your home, your family. For me, it's always my emotional security, the thread lines there. I always have to pay attention to those. Your response to the feelings according to the level of your emotional thread, what that belongs on. Ultimately, how do you be in the end feeling? You might even feel like a minor energetic hiccup today or a vibrational earthquake, kind of like a breakdown in your emotional field. So just honor your feelings. Be like a sailor navigating the emotional challenges of the waves on the ocean. The ocean more than a lake. And ground your emotional threads. Then feel what you are attracted to by evaluation or observation, Often I follow an attraction only to find out that I really don't belong in that direction, that pathway. Mistakes are just a narrative. There's really no such thing, There's magic when you can look at a mistake and see something different in it, right? There's no judging. It's really not a failure. It's just a path of learning the emotional frequency or the vibration, if you will, of what is right for you and also what is not right. It's kind of like eating food. You can try something and you know you don't like it, but at least you tried it. It wasn't a mistake, right? So ultimately, when we start to identify the not, that's when we become clear and we're able to like zoom in or hone in on the energy that does attract that good juju. Our crown center is online today. It's our spiritual center, the guiding light. So all the light effervescent shades of purple and ultraviolet, I see them kind of like this rainbow violet effervescent color. It's just magical. So you might be called to share your wisdom today. My Musing with Tonya D podcast is ready also in my corridor. I did it all about the moon signs, what intuitive gifts the moon brings to you, and a lot more, actually. But just know that this wisdom that comes in today, your intuition or somebody else's, might have a higher message. So just kind of sit in your observation station and allow those perspectives, both of them, to kind of marinate in your cosmic soup in your heart. And the intuition channel really to have permission to just be, to tune in, to listen, take a breath, take a pause. It really might be a wisdom day to protect your character or even your behaviors, your ego identifier. So if you have like a big decision to make, you know, take a breath, take a pause, wait another day. Tomorrow would actually be a better day for balancing those options, taking out some, leaving some, you know, whatever you got on your plate, with your ego center a little more online tomorrow, a little more balanced. So our spiritual barometer, it's the connection to spirit, and just allow the voice of your ancestors really to come in, or a spirit guide, the guardian of your galaxy. That's kind of what I go to. Of course, it's always a bunch of different things, but the moon itself is in the early degrees of Capricorn. So I would say emotions are tidy. It might be a little hiccupy to tune into them, even though I told you to tune into them. I studied with an astrologer, let's say 5-10 years ago, can't remember, but the saying was always that Capricorn was the dark father, the restriction, the authority, in a way, authoritarian. So I sense the moon is one, it probably emotionally feels that way, thready. So it's like young emotions when you're old and old emotions when you're young. So that's all cascading away actually today. That's the old. It's like we're getting a emotional boost from the age of the dark ages, whatever that float feels like. The seed sound of today is on. And I know I always say take a deep breath before you do that. However, that's just what it is. And I like to tone any of the sounds into my heart space first, or my solar plexus. Sometimes I actually bring them through whatever one's needing a little beacon of light, and just allow that vibration to kind of shift in there. You could seed sound through all of your energetic centers inside and outside of your beingness. Just feel into what you're called with that. And as far as the tonalities for the elementals, we still have wood, the shhhishing of a child kind of sound, or somebody who's talking in a movie. That's my other favorite. It's the same shhhishing. And the woo of like blowing out a candle. So it's whoo. I don't know if you can hear that. So either one of those will bring you into balance, because we do have a lot of earth, like dry, rocky earth, actually. So it's hard to be rooted with that kind of feeling. We definitely need water. And for fun, so I have a blue jay in my backyard. That's the best picture I could find of a blue jay this morning. That's why I was running slow. Couldn't really find the one I wanted, but this is the one that's going to work. So I have this blue jay in my corridor. So I thought it would be super fun to muse about a blue jay as a totem or a spirit animal. I only have one, however. I probably have more. I just have only seen the one. But they are highly intelligent spirits. They give us access to memories, the long forgotten ones. They also show us how to assimilate them into an awareness. They're more of a risk-taking, seizing opportunity kind of exploring and discovering new avenues. In other words, or words, I guess, otherworldly kind of in a way. So the blue jay really is, they show us how to use both our power of courage and our intelligence. To me, they feel kind of like the genie energy. The genies I use in my cowrie shell divinations, the genies are otherworldly. They balance these traits. They have a magical silence, and science, I guess. Genies are science. So it's not just the silence, but it's also the patience and the timing. So it's more fluid. They teach us really to be more bold and curious and to get out there, be on the stage, start investigating and adapting to new situations, different situations. They embrace learning and new ideas and different concepts. So it's this creative intelligence that this bird has that uncovers the sacred interconnections with all of the things. So there's this mental growth that actually assists in spiritual growth. So this presence of this bird, the energy centers of the head might actually become activated due to this increase in the spiritual knowledge, the effervescent spiritual knowledge. It's like getting downloads, right? However, you really need to take care of your physical body to integrate any spiritual expansion. So it's really crucial to upcycle your nutrition quotient. So if you're not, if your nutrition quotient is low vibrational, I would upcycle that definitely if you want to open up your spiritual channel. You have to clean out your physical body just like you do your spiritual body, the subtle energy fields. And it only takes a few, right, to say really what you need to say, talking just for the idea of speaking. That's kind of what this bird suggests. What happens when you talk just to talk, to hear yourself talk, that's actually an imbalance of Vishuddha. However, that leads to other people just tuning you out. So you want to input essentials when it's clear and kind of directive in your conversation. So it's similar to the crow in a way, the blue jay. They rarely miss an opportunity. They easily link to the realm of spirit without getting lost. In a dream, if you were to hear them calling without seeing them in your vision, your peripheral, in a dream, that means that to proceed carefully with caution on whatever new adventure you're creating or manifesting your intentions. There's ultimately, a little danger ahead. Will Robinson, a little danger. When one of these birds is hiding food in your dream, it's a reminder that you've hidden resources that will see you through this and also in your life. If you do see a blue jay in your dream, it's this indication that you are maybe overconfident, you're being a little too arrogant. It often might be trying to call attention to even something that you might have overlooked. I think we do that a lot, not intentionally, but it's like seeing the forest through the trees or the trees through the forest. So if you see a flock of blue jays, that's a reminder that even though you believe that you're thinking independently, your responses and beliefs are usually those of the peers, those around you. So the blue jay meaning kind of focuses on more of the need to separate ourselves and our own assumptions so that we can find what is actually right for us. It's similar to the feeling states of awareness today, kind of collaborated. It's funny that I tuned into the blue jay. Of course, it's because I have one in my yard. But, so yeah, it's a great day to just pay attention to what you feel in the frequency. Yeah. So the card of the day, super fun. I pulled the Lovers, which is hilarious. I think it's all hilarious. Everything's great, right? We're doing great. Everything's great. I switched to the Shadowscape deck, the Lovers reversed. I love this deck, obviously. It's seriously one of my favorites. Now that I found it, I'm super excited. But, it's one of the oldest tales. There's always a choice. There's knowledge. There's fulfillment of worldly senses or the simplicity of an ever-present moment, the now. To really be drawn into this embrace, to seek the union that all of our souls kind of ache for, and a desire to know really truly the oneness of passion and love and kind of revel in that. these two lovers, even though it's reversed, their eyes are open. They're gazing into each other. They're oblivious to the sun. It's like this, the earth, right? The earth is below their feet and their sun, which is kind of an opposing force. I kind of like that. But they're oblivious to the sun. They don't even know because they're in their moment. It's called moon eyes. When somebody loves you so deeply, they have these moon eyes that are just kind of glowing when you look into them, and vice versa, right? So they don't know the sun's going around them or the heavens. They're oblivious to both. They have no care for gold or gems or crowns or, any of the stuff. So they kind of are in this grace, this flow, and these forces are gathering around them there's no distinction because they're oblivious. They're in their own senses. They have no awareness of anything that's going on around them. So he actually says to her, take this seed. He's offering her an acorn. And he wants her to place this acorn in the earth, ironically, right? And water it and just allow spirit and her intentions to flow. Let her be that fountain as they merge. So, we shall see how it grows. That's her response, is when he gives her this acorn. So the lovers in general, that's a meaning of union, balance, energy, flow, obviously love, desire, passion, melting of hearts and minds, the blend, the merge, forming a union or even a marriage. And a lot of times it can be romantic in nature, but it's not necessarily so. The lovers is also about determining values and struggling with choices. So being that this is reversed, I feel like those things are floating away. Anything negative is just, it's no longer being served. It's questioning, stay curious. So the innocence here, it's kind of embodied in the turtle doves that are above the head. Doves remind me of Prince. Along with the shiny red apple, I don't know if you can see that, and the embrace of the snake. That's really one of the oldest symbols of temptation. On the other aspect, it's this pure simplicity, the calla lily. I actually have a calla lily in one of the paintings one of my clients gave me. And it's this being or this painting of the bones and the body and a baby kind of a thing. So it kind of has that kind of feeling. There's this less lush and sensual complexity of a rose, but every rose has its thorn. That was a great song. So you kind of have to be careful with that. So the affirmation for today to actually get you on your way, I really want you to feel into your heart today and the being that resides within you. And like I am feeling my feelings today and detaching from the ones that no longer serve me. Just allow them to go down those thread lines. They just no longer stick. So kind of what does that mean? So a feeling that no longer serves you would be a feeling of holding a grudge. Send them peace. Do an offering, a cleanse, reconciling by a creek, or, go directly to them. It's up to them to do their own. You can let that go. That's just an example. I did that with my siblings. I'm just done. I've been cleaning out things. I just said, come get whatever you want. Of course, that was, but I'm done. I let it go. So go ahead and really just make it a heartfelt, emotional thread. Feel the feel kind of day, and get in the flow. And with all that, InShalla and Ashe. Blessings. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be on time. Make it a magical day.